Good morning. It is Mr. Gurney, and welcome to week 10 of online learning. This is for the week of May 26th through May 29th. This video shouldn't be very long, just a quick overview of what we're doing for week 10 in 7th grade STEM science. Let's take a look on Canvas. Just a reminder, you should check announcements, modules, and the Zoom meeting schedule daily. Everything's on the left, announcements, modules, Zoom meeting schedule. Let's take a look first at our Zoom meeting schedule. There's also a link right down here that you can go to. Takes you to the same place. Our Zoom meeting schedule for the week of May 26th through May 29th. That is just a 4-day week because on Monday it is Memorial Day and we do not have school. For our class on Tuesday, we will not be meeting. That will be a meeting for 6th grade, not for 7th grade. We will be meeting for the whole time on Wednesday from 11 to 12. It is important that you are there because we will be going over the Wolves of Yellowstone Part 3 assignment. Thursday is just a day for extra help. And then Friday, we will have our Friday Kahoot. So if you are curious what we're doing for Zoom, take a look at this schedule. There's only one required meeting this week, and that is Wednesday from 11 to 12. Let's go back to Canvas and look at your lessons for week 10. I'm going to go to modules. And we are in the Why Do We Eat final portion of this module or this unit. And we're going to start our last Project Lead the Way or PLTW unit. There's a quick check-in here, similar to other weeks. And then the Why Do We Eat final part. There are just two things. One is the Wolves of Yellowstone Part 3 that you started on Friday. I have moved the due date to the 27th, which is Wednesday, because we will be going over Part 3 during our Zoom meeting. If we open Part 3, you'll notice there's a video where you watch the second half of the video, and then there's a Google Doc. That Google Doc has multiple graphs and multiple questions, and it's important that we discuss these as a class before you submit. So if you scroll through this Google Doc, it is multiple pages of graphs with questions, graphs, questions, graphs, questions. Again, we will be going over that on Wednesday in our Zoom meeting. So that assignment is not due until Wednesday. That means you don't have anything to do on Tuesday unless you want to work on the Wolves of Yellowstone Part 3. All right. Now let's take a look at what you're doing after that. We have a Why Do We Eat final. And this is just a short assessment where you have to tell me, why do we eat? And you answered this at the beginning of the unit about a month ago. Now I want you to answer this by including two pieces of supportive evidence from this module. Two things that you learned that support your response to why do we eat. You could talk about food webs. You could talk about photosynthesis. Make sure you reference some assignments, some videos, things we have done. Your response should be a minimum of 3 sentences, so it doesn't have to be very long. And you can submit a video response. You can type it. It's up to you as long as it includes that supportive evidence. Okay. To submit, you click Submit, and you can submit your assignment. So Wolves of Yellowstone, Why Do We Eat final? That's all we're doing for Why Do We Eat. And then on Thursday and Friday next week, we are going to be introducing our PLTW unit called, it's actually 2 units put together, Energy and the Environment and Green Architecture. And if you start by clicking on what is EE and GA, it'll give you a definition of what each unit entails. Now these units will be significantly shorter and will not include many of the projects that we used to do just because we're online and because we only have a short amount of time left. So go through and read this. You don't have to do anything on this page. But if you take a look at our module page again, you'll notice there are 2 assignments. One is called Why Are We Concerned? That's going to be on Thursday. And the second one is Types of Renewable Energy. That will be on Friday. Why are we concerned? Has directions here. Go through the steps. Step 1, review the following information. Step 2, watch the following video. Step 3, there's a question right there, and you can think about what you learned in 6th grade. But why should we, humans, be concerned with using fossil fuels as our main energy source? Make sure you respond to that. And then the last part of the week is types of renewable energy. And there's an article here about the different types of renewable energy. Renewable is something, it's essentially opposite of fossil fuels, which are non-renewable. Renewable is something we can continuously use over and over. You are going to then complete this Google Doc. About the different types. There's solar, wind, geothermal, biomass, hydroelectric, tidal, wave, and algal. So your job is to talk about what that is based on the article, talk about advantages and disadvantages, fill out this chart, and submit this. And that is the last assignment you need to do for the week. So there are only 4 things. Wolves of Yellowstone Part 3, Why Do We Eat Final? Why Are We Concerned? And types of renewable energy. Once you complete that, you'll be done for the week. And then for our last week after this, it'll be our last week of academic lessons. We will just continue on with EE and GA. So finish this week, and you'll be ready to do our last week on June 1st. If you have any questions, please send me an email. I expect to see everyone at Zoom this week so we can go over the Wolves of Yellowstone Part 3. And I hope everyone has a wonderful, wonderful